were born before the wind. Also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
Something in the way, bro. Where is it? Got that shit tatted right on me. That was one of my first fucking tattoos ever. Shout out Kurt Cobain, boys. Something in the way. I don't regret it. I know most people like regret their cringy fucking tattoos that had all this meaning. I don't have one tattoo on my body that I regret. I have a fucking Care Bear on my ass. I think I regret that shit. Shout out if you know. I'm not even going to say what it is. If you know why I have a Care Bear on my ass, comment below. Comment in the section if you know why I have a fucking very shitty Care Bear tatted on my ass. Mic check 1, mic check 2. We got some audio. All right, guys, we're back. We hit fucking 10,000 subscribers. This is episode 8. Welcome to MTV Jesse's Rant podcast. I really got to figure out what we're calling this thing, dude. Because even when I like post about it or tell someone, yo, I'm shooting the thing, it never feels right to call it a podcast. A rant thing, a fucking, just a YouTube video. I need to figure out what to call this. Because I don't know what to call it. Is this just a podcast? If it's not a set amount of time, if it never has guests, could this ever have guests? That's interesting too. I was looking at other channels that I just fuck with, and one of them that was super interesting was Theo Von's channel. I'm a big fan of Theo. And I've talked to Theo a few times, man. He's a nice guy. And I was looking at his channel, and it's so cool to look at these guys' channels years ago and seeing how it like developed into like what it is. Like what were they testing around? What did they start? And he was doing just audio only and then uploading like a photo of like album art kind of. And he would just do like a podcast type rant. This is like 10 years ago. That's how he started it. And then he finally had video, and it was like a shitty webcam, and he would record it in his closet because he needed that was like he like made a little sound barrier in his closet. I thought that was cool. And then I'm looking at his channel, the oldest videos, and he's making these rant things, and then he eventually progressed to having people call in. So almost like a radio show. And that seemed to be doing well for him. And then eventually, like years later, he finally had his first guest. So it started as like what I'm doing right now. And then he had a guest, which is so funny. He probably was like, no, I don't do that. And then he just tried it. He's like, fuck it. Why don't I just have someone on? And then now you look at, 7 years forward to present time, like Theo Von's channel's like mostly just guests. It's like a split between like guests and then him, this past weekend, him just talking to a camera, which I actually am like a much bigger fan of just Theo Von talking to a camera. I like the way his brain works. I like the way he explains things. It's like the perfect amount of like funny, silly story time and like real and authentic. He does a really good job. It's very entertaining. Because some people like, I mean, you go through like spurts, but like sometimes when I'm listening to people, if it's just crazy, goofy comedy, I find I don't last that long. Like I'll listen to them, I'll enjoy it, I'll get kind of obsessed with like that channel or that podcast, but it doesn't like last that long. I can only like listen to just like goofy, funny, obnoxious, kind of like what's going on in the news and then making a joke about it. Like I like it's like I'm in when I'm in the mood for it, I'm in the mood for it. But then also the whole like talk about your fucking feelings and real serious and motivating type fucking channels, that can get old too. Sometimes you're just like, dude, I don't want to learn about what cold plunges do for my fucking heart rate and shit, you know? Like sometimes I just want to, I don't know. I'm trying to think like out of like the Joe Rogan to the Shane Matt secret podcasts to Bad Friends with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee to the goofiness of Tim Dillon, like all these things, like which one have I lasted the longest? Which one like really stuck with me? Or you're like almost always in the mood for that you can like lean on. These are just things that I think about a lot. Like especially as I'm, you know, man, we just hit 10,000 subs. It's fucking, or only, this is our 8th episode. I think that's wild. I really just made, like, I had no idea that it would be like people would care at this point. I really thought I would be at like, you know, my 50th upload and like hopefully some people were fucking with it or enjoying it. I really was not thinking that. Sorry, I know I'm kind of ranting already, but like I just read some comments on the last video and it was like some of them just nailed exactly the reason why I fucking made this channel. Just like I wish I just saved, I should probably screenshotted it, but like just people like, it sounds so gay. I can't even say it, but like a safe place, like something to lean on, something to like, it's like more than just something to look forward to, something I can just trust. Like, when I'm going to put this on and I'm going to feel okay for a bit. Like I saw some comments that were kind of like connecting to that thought. And it's such a fucking, it's such a like, God, there's been so many times in my life where like channels and podcasts, as cringy as it is to say or admit, have gave me that, where like you see that there's a new episode of that fucking show that you just trust, and you're just like, oh fuck, I fucking like need this. But maybe that's a problem too. I think that we are in this generation of like escaping and being in our own heads and not being comfortable in our own thoughts. So we're always listening to podcasts and music and shit. But I'm sure that they've been doing that for fucking decades. You know, like everyone's had a radio on or a fucking thing, but I don't know. Dude, what am I even talking about? We got today's fucking topic, the episode that I wanted to do today. I had to journal a lot. Like I told you guys, sometimes I'll write out an idea or like journal out like what I want to talk about or a topic. This one was actually a fun exercise. It's every single job. And dude, I worked so many jobs. That's what I realized. It's every single job I ever worked until I did Neelk. And I think it's it was a really fun experience for myself to like go down memory lane of everything I've ever done and all the experiences. But I think it'll be a really cool video for you guys too, because it's like, if anything, you know, it should show you that like, you gotta try everything. You gotta fucking try everything. You can't sit there and wait for life to happen or an opportunity to happen. You gotta just go out there and just try shit. And eventually you throw enough shit at the wall, something's gonna stick. And for me, like, you know, I had an MTV show when I was in high school. That was like the first real thing that stuck, but it got canceled. Never did a season 2. Yeah, like the amount of things I tried in between that, after that, and until Neelk. Neelk was like Neelk and Full Send and then Happy Dad. It was like that was my baby, you know? That was the thing that finally worked. And then, you know, once I knew it was working, I gave my 20s to it, you know? Put in 7 years into that, and like, it set me up for life. It fucking gave me a million memories. so many connections and friendships and experiences, and fucking I traveled the whole world, and fucking it's just like it's the thing that worked for me. And I think if anything, this video could be fun for you to be like, what's going to be your thing? What unless you've already hit it, but like what's going to be your thing that's like, damn, this is the one that connected to me. This is the one that worked. This is the one that gave me my life. And I honestly believe if I didn't have the attitude or like the mindset of like just being interested in the world, in things, and not living in such a fucking box, I never would have got here. I never would have landed on Nelk. Like, even before we jump into it, like Nelk is such a dude. If you guys really know me, you know how obsessed I am with the butterfly effect. Like the meaning of like the smallest act you do that then spirals into changing millions of things, or like such big impact later on in life because of one decision. Nelk never would have happened if I made a Facebook status one day. I made a status because I was trying to get into YouTube. I was making like comedy videos on YouTube and shit. Like I was like trying everything. But I remember I made a Facebook status saying like, if anyone's doing any like YouTube, I don't even know if I said YouTube pranks or like just YouTube, because I wasn't around anyone that was doing that shit. And a fan from my MTV show and a fan of what Kyle was already doing with Nelk, like I don't know if he commented or he DM like or messaged me on Facebook or something happened. He connected me to Kyle, and then I reached out to Kyle because of that and told Kyle, yo, I could fucking I could light myself on fire. We could do like a smoking prank. Met up with Kyle, we shot a video, we hit it off right away. Boom. Yo, go save up $5,000. Let's go to LA together. You know, butterfly effect. Boom. Whole life changes. And yeah, it's just interesting, man. Especially if anyone watching this, dude, you're in your like early 20s, you're young, dude. Oh, it's got to be so exciting. I mean, every decade's exciting, but like, dude, you are at the age, if you are not just fucking networking and trying shit and traveling and like backpacking and fucking hopping on planes and fucking, and dude, I know all this shit costs money and stuff, but like figure it the fuck out. Go work any job, save it, and fucking go do shit. Go say yes to life, man. That's one thing I can honestly say as a 32-year-old man. I did say yes to life fully, especially when I was young, dude. I hated the idea of like, you know, I was born in a city called Hamilton, but when my parents divorced, I moved to a really small town. And even now, like a lot of people I grew up with, like never left that small town. You know, they worked on their parents' farm, or they fucking married their high school sweetheart, or they like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of them have beautiful lives, but like, it wasn't for me, man. I just like really was like, I always was outside of the box. I was always trying to like see life in a different way. And when I backpacked, the two biggest things are backpacking, but I get any kind of travel. I just say backpacking because when you say travel, and a lot of people that like listen to this or watch this, like they always like think like, I can't do that because I don't have the money. That costs money. I can't do that. I have to fucking sit here. Backpack, dude. I had $100 in my pocket when I started backpacking, and I left for 100 days. It's this whole, I made like a documentary about it, but like I literally had $100 in my pocket. I packed a bag with whatever the fuck I could find, and I literally just started walking and hitchhiking and, you know, buying $20 like train or bus tickets and just going like province to province and meeting people and crashing on couches. And like, dude, it showed me so much of life. Like it was so fucking exciting. Just like nothing beats that. every experience I've had in my life, nothing beats being fucking penniless and not knowing what tomorrow is going to be in the best way ever. Just like not knowing who I'm going to meet, not knowing where I'm sleeping, not knowing what scenery I'm going to see, not knowing what new experiences I'm going to have. Like not knowing what's going to go wrong is exciting. Dude, let's fucking one sec. Okay, I did make a list and I was shocked by this. It was 25 jobs. And like some of these are like not really jobs. Like one of them is like me and a buddy like collected beer cans in a ditch for like a summer, and like that's how we paid for our like skateboards that we kept breaking. But like I counted it as a job. We worked and we found a way to make money. So, but yeah, 25 jobs I worked before Neelk, and I'm gonna go in order and bang these all out. Also, I'm trying to make this fucking, I got this Hawaiian ass shirt on I got from Essence. It's kind of fire. But this hat, I've been sitting on this vintage, what does this say? Chichibu Marathon. This was look at this. It's like the fabric on this shit from 1986. Transparent brim with like even the strap. You guys aren't going to be able to see this, but it's like it's on this like plastic track that like you push in and it moves. It just, everything about this hat is so fucking sick. I originally got this when I was at Neelk, and I was gonna try to sample these because it reminds me of like a like an old school poker hat. There's like these poker visor hats that have transparent brims, and yeah, I've always wanted to sample this. I guess it kind of defeats the purpose of a hat because the sun literally just like goes through the brim, which is the whole fucking point of it. But I don't know. It's fucking sick. I've never been able to actually like wear this out. I haven't figured out how to like style this or where's the right place to wear this, but this pod might be the fucking place for it, man. It definitely reflects kind of green on your head. Maybe it's a backwards banger. I don't know. I'll take it off. I'll stop talking about the fucking hat. Okay, I'm gonna pack a chew. We're gonna jump into this, boys. We got some exciting time too. Also, I just got offered to go to the UFC in Louisiana, which I'm so pumped for. My favorite fighter ever is Dustin Poirier. Massive fan of Dustin Poirier, and this is his retirement fight in Louisiana, and it's next weekend. And I feel like I'm going to kick myself in the ass because I also got free tickets to go see the fights, to go to, God, I always get the name wrong. Slap hit, fucking slap league. God, I never know what that's called, but whatever. Basically, I got the in to go to that. I just got to pay for a flight. But I don't know if I'm going to go. And I feel like I'm going to fucking regret it. Because I'm a massive UFC fan. And this is literally my favorite fighter's retirement fight. But I have jury duty on Monday. Which is fine. It's like I could just go on this trip and then fly home Sunday. But for some reason, because it's like I've never done jury duty, I don't know how this all works or like when I gotta go or what's going on, but like it's like making me like not want to fly out. It makes me just want to stay home and like figure shit out. But I don't even know how I got jury duty. Like I'm a Canadian on a visa living in America. How did I get issued jury duty? That doesn't even make like how when I cross the border I get pulled into fucking customs and questioned for fucking 2 hours because I'm not a citizen. But now it's like, hey, come fucking take a week off work and do jury duty. And if you don't, we're going to arrest you. Like, it's kind of sick though. I mean, I'm all down for new experiences. So I've never done jury duty. This is LA. Maybe I'll get a fucking like really interesting case. Like a fucking double homicide or like something crazy or like a celebrity murder Netflix documentary and I'm in the jury duty just like, bruh, that boy innocent. I guess, can I even talk about it? Like if I go do this jury duty shit and it's like, it's some juicy shit, like it's interesting as fuck, can I come on this pod and talk about what I'm hearing? That sounds like I probably can't. I feel like it's like an NDA thing. Like you can't be talking about it. Oh, speaking of what, yo, I know I'm jumping around a lot, guys. I just drank a Red Bull before I had a coffee. Don't know why I did that, but it's kind of the weekend. I've been working out every morning, and then I made this massive. Let me get it. Let me show you. This is what I do every weekend. Oh, you guys can't even fucking see it. I got a little whiteboard, and I just write every single thing I want to get done, and then I just start banging them all out. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been fucking putting on headphones, listening to a podcast, drinking Red Bull, and fucking banging things off that list. Like doing laundry. I had to clean the floors here. I had to vacuum. I had to hang a bunch of shit. Those new like leather vests I got, I hung up on the wall. I had some other art that I brought home. I had to hang up. I had to cut the grass and fucking I started ripping out the carpet in my guest bedroom cuz it's like a really big guest bedroom that I don't use anymore. And I'm going to probably leave like a bed, like a mattress that I can pop down when my dad or someone comes to visit me. But it's such a big room. Maybe I'll pop up a photo of it so you guys can see. But I'm ripping the carpet out of there. And then the walls and the ceilings got this like popcorn. It's like popcorn ceiling. It's got like the texture. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to like tarp it all off and just sand the whole room, rip the carpet up, and then I'm gonna put down like foam flooring and turn it into like a home gym. So that's my game plan. If I can find some free time, I'm gonna pick one of these weekends and just like go ham like 3 days straight and build this home gym. I'm also hyped on some traveling. I think I think I've been so consumed with work, structure, gym, health lately that I kind of forgot that like now that I've like achieved a lot, I feel like with like what I was trying to accomplish, I'm starting to be like, yo, I got to open back up that door where like every weekend I am fucking traveling or going and doing something. Even if it's like, it doesn't have to be this big fucking thing. Like could just be like a road trip, like a 3 day banger out to the desert, a 3 day go to Big Sur, a weekend in San Francisco. But the ones on my mind right now, I think it's because I've been watching a lot of, shout out Winkle TV. Bam Margera has just been skating this skate park in Miami called Lot 11. And I've skated it a couple times. And dude, it's the best skate park ever made. It's fucking chef's kiss. It's the best fucking park. And I just been watching him skate that and like clips and stuff. And it's just got me so stoked. I'm like, it's summertime. Like, I don't want to miss out on that. I want to go have a nice... I go to Florida like at least once every year. I love Florida so much. And I would love to just make a nice skate trip. Maybe even fly my dad out, get an Airbnb, like spend a week with him. Go to Equinox, work out, skate every day. Fucking tan, go to the beach. Maybe go meet up with like Kyle or the Neelk boys, see if they're free. Maybe go shoot a pod with them or something. Just like go have a nice Florida trip. So I think I'm going to do that next month. And then before summer ends, I really want to get a New York skate trip week. I've actually never in my life done that. And I've been talking, like, shout out like Justin and some of my skate homies. Like, I really want to like get some homies, go to New York, get a fucking apartment for a week and get like, I just got this new backpack, this like vintage independent backpack that has like the skate holder and everything, and like just want to fucking pack up a bag and just like go skate spots and film and like get a true New York skate trip experience, because I've never got to do that. And I'm gonna regret it if it's like starts getting cold and I like didn't go to New York. All right, let's jump right into this. Also, I can't stop fucking playing that it's a song called Pals from a band called Young Fathers, and it was the last song they played in 28 years later. It's such a fucking sick song. It's so good. Please go look up this song. It's in my eyes, I call it like editing music. And the best way to describe it is like, it's like a certain song is so good, but not just because like I want to listen to it good. It's like I listen to it and I think about it being like used in an edit, like a commercial for Sunday Sport or a fucking, and your mind can just like, it's honestly how I write and creative direct any like commercials or short films or anything I've ever produced. It's always started with a song. And it's what I call like an editing song. It's just like I hear a certain song that makes you feel a certain way, and you can just like close your eyes and listen to it, and like you can like map out like a vision out of nowhere. Like you're not even thinking Sunday Sport or Bloody Sunday, or like you're not even thinking about what it is yet, but you just listen to the song over and over again, and then all of a sudden like an idea comes out and you're like, oh, I could do this. And then at this part, and I'll write like, at minute 32, it would switch and go to this, and then and then it would build, but then you would show this, and now he's in a white room, and it's got 7 doors, and they're all green, and like your brain will just be like, and anyways, that's what I like to call editing music. Dude, I have so much energy right now. Maybe that's the move. Just drink Red Bull and a coffee, and you feel like limitless. Does anyone else just miss Mac Miller? God damn. Has anyone ever hated on Mac Miller? Wild, crazy, random thought. Don't think I've ever heard of someone hating on Mac Miller. Never heard it. I'm going to try to Google it. I'm going to go on Reddit and be like, Mac Miller sucks, and see if someone has like a form on that. I bet you it doesn't exist. I bet you Mac has 0 hate. Okay, what you guys clicked for. We're going to get into this list right after I tell you about one more thing, because I have to tell you guys about this. I'm going to Alaska. That is another one that I am doing. That's a trip that is going to happen 100%. And I just found out that you can take a train from LA all the way to Alaska. It's called the Amtrak, and I've actually done it before. I took it from LA to Seattle, and it was the coolest experience ever. There's like this, you have like a room, like a little tiny shitty, it's like a chair that turns into a bed, but it's like a closed room. You have your own private room, and you sleep on this train for like 3 days. You like eat on it. There's like a little restaurant. There's all this shit. But there's this one room it's a completely glass. What's it called on a train? It's like a cart. Like there's different carts. And there's this one, and it's like a glass roof, got glass ceiling, glass walls. And you just go sit in there, and there's like recliner chairs. And because you're going, on the West Coast, it goes like, Big Sur and like the most beautiful fucking places ever, like ocean views, you're on a cliff, like, so if you have not done the Amtrak on the West Coast, you need to experience it. It's so much fucking fun. Anyways, you go into this glass room, especially at night. It's really fucking cool at night. Maybe take a little microdose, maybe take a little, smoke a little weed or something. And you just sit back and you look, and the train's just flying, and it's just like trees above you and like ocean and cliffs, and you just, bro, go there, read a book or something. One of the best experiences ever. Amtrak on the West Coast. And so, yeah, I just recently found out that you can take it all the way to Alaska. I mean, you get off the train. I think it goes all the way to like, what's the farthest north in America? It's like Washington or something, or like Belmont or something like that. But you get off the train there, and then you get on this boat that's like the same kind of vibe. You get like a room, like a tiny little room. And then I think it's like a day or a 2-day boat trip to Alaska. And I don't know. I'm like, obviously I want to do Alaska like a winter time. I've never been to Alaska, but like a wintertime trip in Alaska sounds really fucking sick too. But I like just recently been like, damn, what is Alaska like in the summertime? Like I have a feeling that's going to be almost like kind of like what my childhood was, like almost like Canadian mountains, lake, cottage vibe, which just could be fucking sick. Bunch of dope hiking, see some fucking wildlife and shit. I don't know. So we got a Florida trip, New York skate trip, and Amtrak Alaska trip. Those are the trips that I'm going on before it starts getting fucking cold again. I'm gonna shoot the pod while I travel. I'm actually working on that right now, because right now I'm shooting on a C300. It's like a pretty bulky big camera, and like I'm not gonna bring this huge thing. So I have the Sunday microphone, and then I'm looking at getting a Sony FX30. It's like a pretty small full frame cinema camera. Get a decent lens for it, a tiny little tripod, and and just bring that and a mic. And I'm gonna like, while I'm traveling, still, set up at the Airbnb, set up on the Amtrak train, like set up wherever I am, and just shoot these remote and then edit them and upload them when I find Wi-Fi. So definitely gonna, if I'm traveling, guys, you're still gonna get this pod. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this pretty frequently. I mean, I think I'm averaging like 2 videos a week, but like as long as it doesn't take up too much time, I still have a full-time job running the company and all this shit. But like, I really just don't mind shooting these. I think the editing probably takes the most work, but it's also, I don't really cut much shit out. I kind of just like dump it on a timeline, remove a couple pauses, and fucking export, pick a thumbnail, and like, it's pretty easy. Like, there is a world where I could shoot and upload every single day if that's something. I don't know how much you guys want to watch this show or watch me talk about shit, but I think like 2 a week is kind of sick, because it gives you a little bit of time to like live life and have some shit to talk about, All right, we've been rolling for a minute, and I know what that feels like. Y'all clicked this video and it said, all the jobs I worked before Neelk, and I haven't told you about one fucking job yet, so we're gonna do that. I'll probably top comment like a time code to right now, so that you can skip all that bullshit I just said. But the real lone wolves out there, I know you out there. Y'all listen to the whole thing, I bet. Dude, I got like chew on my nipples. Jesus, boys. That's pushing it. That's fucking pushing it. That's scumbag. Yo, okay. Dude, I am bouncing around today. I have to show you one more thing. I just got these on eBay. These are from the 90s. Stussy skate pants. And they're elastic drawstring. Is there a way of... Can you guys hear me if I'm up here? 100% sampling these. Because we made like... it wasn't even denim, but we made these like skate pants, and they were pretty good. But like, these are like, I want to bring these back. Like, no brands are really doing like the drawstring, but like pants, not sweats. And I just think these would be a sick fucking sample. So I'm gonna measure these bad boys out on Monday when I get to the office and tech pack them up. I even like the Stussy hit on these. Like, it doesn't say Stussy anywhere. It just has a little fucking, that's all it is. Just a little banger. Kind of sick. I don't know. They're just comfy. Like, sometimes like you gotta just buy a fuckload of shit. If you're running a brand, you gotta just like take chances and just like buy, because like instead of going and getting like one $1,800 pair of Gucci pants and sampling them, I think that's gay. Like fucking, I'll go buy 15 pairs of pants that cost $22 on eBay and just hunt for them and wear them all for like weeks until one is just like, damn, these are sick. If we just like, you know, cropped it 2 inches on and added cuffs, or like maybe made the fabric do like a heavier weight on the fabric. Like you just gotta buy a bunch of cheap shit, always hunting for it, and just wear it, skate it, see how you feel in it, and then do your notes on it, and then start sampling it. And you know, by the second, the third round of sampling it, you make some magic. And then you have the silhouette, and then you start designing on it. You start thinking of colorways. Maybe you switch up the fabric again. Like that is the best way I've made, you know. That's how we have our crop tee, our hoodie, our twofer. Like all this stuff was just years of just like wearing and sampling, and you know, like I've never made a product once from just like, oh, like the manufacturer's like, this is our t-shirt blank that, you know, 90% of brands use and it's the best seller, here you go, and then we put a design on it. Like I don't do that. Like I have to, like, I actually hate that whenever someone's like, these sell well, lots of brands do this, everyone's doing a drop shoulder hoodie, like everyone's doing a heavier weight, everyone's like, whenever I hear that shit, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I just like to just wear it, buy it, sample it, wear it some more, and then I will find this feeling where I'm like, damn, this is sick. And it's been really hard, honestly, because my body's been changing over the last few years so much, like losing weight, then putting on muscle, then gaining weight, then like losing weight again. Like my body's constantly changing. And when your body's changing, different styles and fits and silhouettes you love, and then you hate, and then you hate, and then you love. Like it's been kind of confusing. So lately, being like as consistent as I am with my body shape, I feel like I've been a little more consistent with the SKUs that we're like creating for Sunday and the silhouettes. Like I've really been finding a nice rhythm with it. And really just excited about it. That's like the main thing I love about it is, I got a little worried there, to be honest. I was like, damn, am I going to enjoy designing and creating clothing brands forever? And I think it was when I had too big of a team. I've talked about this before, but like, when I was really just like managing employees and not actually doing the work, I started having that feeling of like, damn, can I do this forever? And as soon as I kind of like shrunk the team and then got my hands dirty and started designing myself again, finding the references again, coming up with the ideas, sampling, you know, building the cut and sew, building, like sourcing myself, like shooting the marketing ads myself, reaching out to like who I want to model it, booking the locations. Like I started doing everything myself, and I found a love for it again. And there's nothing better than that, man. Like when you love your craft, you create the best shit and you just build a beautiful fucking life. And I have a beautiful life, man. I do. So let's dive into the 25 jobs I worked before Neelk. And this is going to start early, boys. I started working very, very young. So very first, I don't know if you call it, it's not a job, but first way I ever made money, drum roll please, duct tape wallets. It was also my very first business I ever started. So, yeah. I mean, outside of like selling Kool-Aid jammers at the side of my road when I was like 9, that was probably the first way I ever made like a couple bucks. And I'm never actually doing that. That was jokes. I like just took Kool-Aid jammers from my friend's house and then sat at the end of the road. And then one lady came by and gave us $20 for one Kool-Aid jammer just to be like nice. And we were like, bro, we're rich. But yeah, so these, I think I was like 10 years old and I remember I would make these like cardboard like templates. I would like cut a cardboard template of a wallet, and then I would wrap tape around them, and then I would even make a strap so you could like close it. I would make like card holders in them, and then I would sell them at school. And dude, they would actually sell. It was pretty funny. I've literally always been obsessed with like making a product. I remember even like when I was a kid, after I sold like a dozen of these wallets, I was already looking into like how to buy duct tape in bulk. And then I was trying to figure out like how many wallets can I make per a roll of duct tape. So what would I have to sell these for to like I don't even know if I was making a profit, to be honest. And they took so long to make. Oh, dude, I remember even being excited because I eventually found like colored duct tape, and then I found real tree and like camo duct tape so I could start making like different custom wallets. I got all into it, but yeah, it was fun. I don't know if I walked away with any amount of profit, but I learned a lot about business at like 10 years old about product development and, how to make product, how to sell a product, and how to inventory your little amount of product. It was a cool experience. And it's kind of funny to think that when I was 10, looking back at it now, I'm 32, I pretty much do the same thing for a living. Like, I'm really just making duct tape wallets and selling them to people and trying to find a way to make a profit, but never making a profit. All right, next job, farming. So my parents got divorced. I'm probably like, I'm young. I'm like 12. My mom takes us out to the country, and she didn't have a lot of money and stuff, and she went through a lot of shit. She had breast cancer, and she survived. She was good, and she used to like paint houses, and like things were kind of like hard when we were a kid. But she ended up renting this farmhouse, this like 100-year-old farmhouse, and how it worked is these farmers would buy this property so they could farm the land. They just wanted the acreage for like hay and all this shit. And then there would always just be an old house on the property. So they would just rent the house out as like some residual income on the side. But it would be super cheap. Like, I think I remember our rent being $700 a month for this like 3-story, 2-story old house. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about now what I've paid in LA for rent. But so sometimes what me and my brother would do is we would go to school, and then we would work on the farm for the people that own the house. It would help my mom with like rent. Like, if my mom couldn't pay rent, we could like farm and help pay for the house. I can't really remember. My memory's kind of shit, but there was something about helping out my mom, I think, when we were farming. But I do remember I had the worst allergies. I was allergic to hay. So I would go out and have to like literally covered in straw and hay, stacking these hay bales on these tractors like 40 high. And I would just come home and my face would be all puffy and I couldn't breathe. I'd be like wheezing. It sucked, but it did give me that farm arm. I'm trying to track the age on this. I'm probably 13. Me and my twin brother got a job at, I'm going to call it a scrapyard, but it was really just this guy named Greg, his house, where he like had an old barn that he would like, rip apart old washers and like truck tires. And like our job at this like scrapyard was to use this like tire machine, this old tire machine, and you'd put like a big truck tire on it. And I don't know, you would do this fucking thing that would like remove the rubber from the rim. And I'm sure that I sound like an idiot, people out there that know what this is called and the process, but I just remember being like kind of scared of this machine. Like, it was to do with like fucking like pulleys and compression, and like it was kind of an intimidating machine as a kid. But yeah, me and my brother would just rip rubber off tires all day. And I remember he paid us as like a unit. Like, we didn't make a certain amount of money each an hour. we got like, I can't remember what it was, like $5 an hour or something like that. But it was for both of us. Like we had to split it. He paid us as a fucking unit. But I mean, no hate on him, man. I was 13. Like $5 an hour, $2.50 an hour. I'll take it. Next on the list, log cabin. I put log cabin log peeling. There's an actual word for it. I can't remember, but basically it was like this guy who was making log cabins, and the process was he would have these like 40-foot logs, like trees that were cut down. And first you would go and debark them. You would take all the bark, or sometimes he would do it with like a machine. But if you ever looked at a log cabin, they have like these little notches, like these grooves that have like a little pattern of grooves on them. Again, I'm going to butcher all the names on this shit. I can't remember it, but there was a certain tool you would use. It had two handles with like a scoop blade on it. And you would like hug the log with your legs. You'd sit on it, and then you would just like scrape the top layer, like little notches, and you would just like do that all around the whole log. And we got paid $2 per a foot around the whole thing. So you would do the whole top and the sides as much as you can, the whole 40 feet, and then he would use the tractor and spin the 40-foot log. And then you get back on it and you would fucking, again, I wish I had the fucking right words to tell you guys about it, but like, it was chill. It was hard fucking work, and it was really hard to make any kind of like actual money. But again, I was like a kid, and, sitting in the sun, fucking listening to music. I was with my friends. Shout out Aiden, my best friend at the time. And we just fucking would, get these logs ready for the cabins. Sick fucking job. Next one, like I mentioned earlier, beer can recycling. I remember my buddy Aiden had a 4-wheeler, and we would put a little wagon on the back, and we would just drive through these country roads, these back roads. Cause I think, dude, like where I grew up, a lot of people were drinking and driving for sure. Like it was very normal. Like I'm not condoning it. I don't think it's right, but like, dude, everyone, like, no cops fucking were on these roads. Like people going to like hockey practice, and then, going to get groceries, and then going from farm to farm, or like going to their buddy's house. Like, dude, it was just, everyone had a fucking cold one in their cup holder. And, but it did mean that these ditches were filled with fucking beer cans. And I think you would get like 5 cents or 10 cents per a can. So we would just go down these country roads and just fill this wagon with beer cans and then bring them in. And we did that for a summer once, and we needed like deck money. Like at the time we were skateboarding every single day, and we were trying to film like sponsor me tapes. And once I got like decently good at skating, and especially once I got into like sets and stairs and shit, I started breaking decks like very frequently. And I would skate like blanks and shit. I wouldn't go get like a pro deck, but like they were cheap. Like I think an ATM blank was like $35. And shout out Broken Boards, our local park at the time. Like Rick would give us a pretty good discount. But dude, it would suck. Like sometimes like I'd break a deck in like a day, like the first day skating it. And I honestly like remember, I think it was honestly because I was like too small, too young. And I remember I could land tray flips, but I wasn't like good enough where like I was landing a lot of tray flips on the nose and just focusing decks. And especially when I started trying to like send those downstairs, I was breaking decks like crazy. So like I was just picking up beer cans and buying a deck every week and trying to skate. All right, this was the first like paycheck job I ever had. And it's a grocery store in Canada called No Frills. And I used to face the shelves, which sucks. I don't know if you know what facing is. You're basically just turning all the cans to the English side, because in Canada it's English and French on the cans. So you would turn them all you'd face like the logo and the name brand at the front, and then you'd also like bring it to the front of the shelf and bring the other ones to the back. And I think we even had to like look at expiration dates but I think I never fucking did that. But I just remember like facing aisles for like an hour, but people are still shopping the store. So by the time you were like done facing an aisle, it would already be fucked up again and you just have to go restart it. So it was such a fucking robotic job. And again, my twin brother worked at No Frills with me and he took that shit so seriously and I was like fucking around a lot. Like I used to like go to the freezer to like go get more inventory, but I'd really just be like sitting in the freezer like eating day old ice cream cones and shit and just like slacking. I was a bad employee, I'll tell you that. I was a bad kid. All right, next job. Again, not really a job. It was my first business. It was called Dollars. This was my first streetwear brand I ever created. I think I was like either it was either elementary school or like first year of high school. And Dollars was a play on like, you know, dollars, like dollars, but it was spelled DAHLEZ. And the Z was like a money sign. Like this was from an era of skate culture where, you know, putting a Z on the end of something or doing a play on words was like cool. At a young age, I remember I had to hand draw the designs and then scan them into a Microsoft computer into like Paint. And then I had to learn how to vectorize and like do all this shit. And then I would go send it to a print shop and then I would find blanks and print small runs. And then I would sell them out of my locker at school. And again, it was like a small town. So like I was like the only kid with a clothing brand. And dude, it actually like, it did pretty well. Like everyone knew about my brand and like I would, you know, drop a new design and like make 50 shirts and they would sell out. Like it was pretty fucking cool. I would like go to like the fall fair and set up a booth. I'd go to like skate competitions and set up a booth and sell stuff. Yeah, it was like, it was cool. Again, it's like, it's funny that like I was doing something that I still do for a living today. I actually remember this one story. I had my locker broken into at school and I had a stack of Dollars hats, like 20 hats in there, and they all got stolen. And at the time, dude, you're like a kid. So like, that's like, I'm working at fucking No Frills to pay for those blanks and you just took a paycheck from me. So I ended up the person that stole them, his girlfriend ratted him out. And I'm not going to say his fucking name, but whatever. I remember I walked over to him and I said, open your fucking locker. And he's just like, no. And I was like, open your fucking locker. I know you stole my hats. And then he opened the locker and I see the stack of hats and I just, boom, punched him in the face. And the principal was just like, so chill. He's just like, take a lap, like cool down. So I went and like walked around. I took my hats back. And then I eventually went to the principal's office and he's like, dude, he was like on my side. Like he was so chill. He's just like, I get it. Like someone stole your shit. You kind of had to make a message. You kind of had to like deal with it, but like you have to be suspended. So he's like, he sent me home for like 3 days. My mom backed it. Like I didn't get in trouble when I went home. Like not condoning punching people in the face, but sometimes you gotta like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, next job. I think I was like 14 at this time. This is a funny one. This was one of those like massive life lessons that felt like the end of the world, but was actually, like it helped me later in life. So I was doing design work for a local, it was like a figure skating shop in my hometown. And she's like, oh, can you make us a logo and design us a shirt? And it was like this like girls figure skating shirt. So I design up this logo. I hand draw it all. I take it. She's like, oh, that's awesome. I love it. And I'm like, cool. This is the blank. I want to put them on. Like, we're going to do 50 units or 100 units, whatever it was, or green light. We good? She's like, yeah, we love it. Like, go do it. I go and print like 100 shirts. And then I take this box of shirts into her store, and for whatever reason, something changed. Maybe like she didn't actually have the money now or what, but she basically was like, I don't know who you are, get out of my store. And I'm like, my jaw just dropped, and I'm like, bro, I just spent all my money like on these shirts. Like I'm not making any money from this. I just invested my own money into making these shirts for you. And I ended up having to like take her to small claims court as a kid. And basically the judge was like, you didn't get it in writing. You didn't like, there's no proof that she told you to make these shirts. And, I lost all that money. I got stuck with those shirts. I remember like crying in the courtroom, like felt like the end of the world. And I remember my mom was just like, there, one day in your life, there's going to be a way bigger project or a way bigger amount of money where you're going to know now that like you always get it in writing. And it's funny, like that really did teach me at a young age, like, fuck, like never just do a handshake deal, like get it in writing. And I think that that has helped me, you know, in the future. So yeah, fuck that shit. I don't know who rips off a 14-year-old kid, but like that did happen and I'm glad it did. Okay, this next one is very funny. I don't even know if Americans will know about this. Some Canadians might remember this. There was an energy drink pyramid scheme called Verve Energy. And I don't even know how I got involved in this. I just randomly, like, I was like a kid too. And I went to like a hockey arena and I listened to this presentation about, and they were so funny. They were like all wearing Verve Energy product. They had a Verve Energy Porsche, and it was like the classic, like straight out of a movie. They were like, do you want to drive this Porsche? Do you want this? Like, invest in the Verve and whatever. So I fucking do it. I spend like whatever amount of money to like get involved. And I have no idea what a pyramid scheme is at this time. But basically you buy this energy drinks and you're not even selling the energy drinks. You're just selling the same thing they pitched me to your friends to get them to invest and buy Verve Energy. And it's a pyramid scheme. Like whoever can't get other people to sign up ends up eventually, like someone loses. And I remember like the energy drink I couldn't even drink. I tried to drink one and I had like an allergic reaction to it. So I have these cases of these energy drinks. I got, because I was pretty good at networking as a kid, like I got people to sign up. I was already like kind of climbing the pyramid scheme ladder. And then my mom was just like, yeah, but where if those kids that you got to sign up can't get people to sign up? Now they're going to be out $500 or whatever it is. Like, and that's their fucking savings. Like, and I remember just like, even though I was kind of like making money doing this, I was like, yeah, it like hit me. I learned that like, this is a pyramid scheme. Someone's going to lose. So I ended up giving the money back to the people I got to sign up. I took the L. I forced myself to drink these energy drinks and just got allergic reaction. And yeah, don't do pyramid schemes. A lot of these guys, if you're listening, a lot of these are just life lessons. Again, from what I said from the start, just try shit. Make mistakes. Like all of these make you who you are. That's what's fun about this. Like we're only at fucking, I'm like 14 still. Okay, now the next one is I was a vinyl worker for like making like signage in car wraps and stuff like that. And this was this was called a co-op. So this was like through the school, the high school I was at, you would like get credits. You wouldn't make any money, but you would get credits at school to work at some kind of business. And it ended up being sick because, you know, it was a cool experience and just working with this guy. But to able to make the graphics to go on signs and like weed it and put it through the printer, you had to vectorize all these designs to be able to be like a vector file. And, you know, like I was already running my own brand and like that was always my dream. This like co-op that I did at this sign place, it actually taught me so much about like how to vectorize an image and how to do design and how to use all this software and stuff. It was a really cool fucking job. And then I did another co-op the next year at the local skate shop. Shout out Broken Boards. Shout out Rick. It was our little like Zephyr basically, like, and Rick, who owned it, like when I was a kid, like, dude, he was like the god. Like he was like every kid wanted to like be on his good side. Every kid wanted to get sponsored or get on his flow team. Like any of the guys that rode for his shop were like gods. It was like the coolest thing ever to be homies with them. So like when I was able to do a co-op at the skate shop and like hang out at the skate shop, even if I'm just like sweeping and whatever, like it was the coolest job ever. I basically just would lace up vans every day. But I also like product would always come in and I would like, learn how to inventory the product and like, just like tagging the product and running the cash register. And like, I don't know. I definitely learned a lot working at a skate shop. It was just a cool fucking job. Okay. This next one, this is brutal. I only did this for like a summer, but I got this job with this like Italian hard ass guy that, it was pouring concrete, bro. Anyone that does 30 years in pouring concrete, it's right up there with roofing. It's fucking tough work. I remember the very first day we had this job where we went to, we were pouring a concrete pad in this guy's backyard that was like down this slope. It was like a super narrow pathway from the road where the cement truck was to get the wheelbarrows down to the back where we were pouring the cement. And the track that we had to go down with the wheelbarrow was literally just 2x4s laying down. So I got this like 150 pound cement wheelbarrow and I'm like a kid and I have to like guide this down this fucking pathway to bring it to the back. And I remember it was like the first one I brought down. I fucking just took it into the wall and like scraped my arm up and poured cement all over the grass. And he came over to me and he's like, every wheelbarrow you dump is $10 out of your pay. And I remember just being like, I didn't drop another wheelbarrow. I was like, because dude, I was probably making $10 an hour. I was like, okay. And but all I got to say is shout out to anyone who pours cement for a living. Hard fucking job. All right. Next one was me and my two best friends sold an MTV show called Careless Teens. Pretty fucking wild. We just basically shot our own like low budget jackass ripoff type stunts thing. We filmed it all ourselves. And this is like before GoPro and shit. So like, we'd be like lighting ourselves on fire and jumping a dirt bike into a pond and fucking putting a nail through our fucking lip and like crazy shit. But I remember we didn't have GoPros weren't a thing yet. So we had these like little Sony handy cams. So if we were doing like a stunt with a 4-wheeler or something like that, we literally had to like tape these large cameras to ATVs and like our bikes and shit to get the shot. And dude, it was like the funnest experience ever. And like it was also cool because it was like I didn't go from like nothing to like fame. My life has been this like very gradual, like, hey, here's a little bit of hype. Hey, here's a little bit of hype. And I think it's what's kept me kind of level headed my whole life. But yeah, there was definitely like, it was an MTV show in Canada. And I was in high school. It was pretty wild to have a TV show. And I remember we shot the whole thing. We produced the whole thing. And then we sold the whole season for $30,000, which sounds like a lot of money, but like that's split between 3 guys. And if you think about how much money, because dude, they played our show on MTV for like 7 years. I remember like back on the guide menu, like years after, I just like every time I would go to MTV, it would just say like Careless Teens is like replaying again tonight. Like, do you know how much money that show probably made? and I made 10 grand from like the whole fucking season. Kind of wild, but I mean, what are you going to do? You're a kid in high school and they tell you like, we want to buy your show and you can have a show on MTV. And at the time, MTV was like the shit. Like, dude, they could have said like, we're not paying you anything. We would have said yes. You know what I mean? All right. Next on the list was clip selling. So this was something. So from our MTV show, we shot a bunch of dumb stunts and pranks and shit like that. And then there was a bunch of these like shows like Ridiculousness, Dumbest Stuff on Wheels, America's Funniest Videos. And I learned, because I kind of got like involved in this like stunt community world. Like I met other people that did stunts like on the internet, and I kind of found out that you can sell each clip to these shows. And I think at the start it was like the first clip I ever sold was to Ellen, and it was me on a motorbike, and then my friend was on pogo, like jumping stilts, whatever those things are called. And the plan was that he was going to jump and then open his legs, and I was going to ride under him, but we didn't time it right. And I just like, my face went right into his crotch, and I just like sacked him, and then he flipped over me. And yeah, that was the first time I sold a clip, was to Ellen DeGeneres' show, and I got $250. But then I started realizing that I could ask for a lot more money. And at a certain point, I was selling these clips for like $1,000 to like Dumbest Stuff on Wheels and America's Funniest Home Videos. And this got me through like, you know, like a half year or like a summer. Like it was pretty much paying for me to live at the time. But yeah, it was an interesting world to be in. All right, this might be the dumbest, worst job I've ever had. It was a retail job at Spencer's Gifts. It didn't last long. I only worked there for a couple months. Yeah, just, I don't even know what to say about it. I remember like, I think there's a law against this. Like they have to, if they say you're coming to work, they have to like pay you for X amount of hours. But I remember one day I had to take like 2 buses and then bike. Like I would bike, put my bike on the bus, take 2 buses. Like I'm spending like $8 already to get to this mall to work. And then I'm like 30 minutes into my shift and they're like, yo, we don't need you anymore. Like it's pretty dead in the mall, so go home. So I got paid like $8 for the day. And then I go outside and my bike's stolen. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like this is probably what stemmed like, yo, I need to go find a job that's like, I can work the most amount of hours, or like a factory job, or like something that's like 12-hour shifts. Like I remember at the time being like, I'm not getting anywhere. I need to just like something that can put a lot of money in my fucking pocket. Okay, next on the list, I worked a night shift at a grocery store. Not much to say about this. Didn't last there long. I weirdly remember listening to a lot of Mac Miller at the time. Blue Side Park comes to mind. I remember a manager there that scared me a bit. He was like older, and he was one of those managers that's like, he thought he was the shit. Like he kept saying things to me like, bro, you keep at this and you could be me in 10 years. I'm a whatever manager. And I remember just being like, dude, I don't want to be you. What the fuck? Like, I don't know. And I remember like, I didn't even quit that job. I just woke up one day and I just didn't go to my shift. I was just like, and I remember even my dad was like, well, did you like call them and tell them that you're quitting? I was like, no, I just didn't go. Okay. So now I have now backpacked, or I went out to Alberta. I was living in Alberta. This was like one of my first real like relationships I was in, where I moved across the country to live with her. And the first job I got, it only lasted one day, but it was a door-to-door job. It was really fucking weird. If you've ever seen the movie with Shia LaBeouf called American Honey, it's like exactly like that. It was like this weird Sprinter van that would pick us all up. It was a bunch of young people that were all like rejects, like fucking like stoners and like I don't know, like just like weird people. And I don't even remember what the job was. We would like go door to door and like sell something or try to get people to sign up for something. I don't even know if I got a paycheck. Like I just did it for one day. It was like some like Craigslist, or in Canada it's called Kijiji, but it was some gig I found on there right when I moved out there. And yeah, I was like, this ain't it. Ooh, this one's cool. So then I shout out the West Edmonton Mall. If you know what that is, it's like Canada's biggest mall. It's crazy. It's got like roller coasters and like a skating rink and all this shit. And I got a job at a bar called Hudson's as a line chef. So this is my first time with a cooking job, which you guys will see on the list. I ended up getting a few cooking jobs. I really liked being like, I love the atmosphere of working with like as a line chef. Like it's such an like a fun, like all the people you cook with kind of become like your homies, and you know you go on like smoke breaks and then you all get beers after. Like it was really fun. I remember there was a West 49, which is like a Canadian skate shop in the mall, but it had an indoor skate park, and I had a homie that was the manager at West 49 there. And he would, after I would work at Hudson's, he would stay late when the mall was closed, and he would open up the indoor park for us. And it was so sick. Like, for one, walking through West Edmonton Mall, like the roller coasters and everything, and no one's in there, it's like closed, was like kind of sick. But then we would just go and skate and put on music at this indoor park and like just skate all night. Yeah, really good times. Really fucking cold though. Like Alberta winters were fucking, Edmonton's no joke. It'd be cold, and I didn't have a car out there. I would take the bus home every night, and yeah, those are some cold ass fucking bus stops. Okay, this is now, I'm in Alberta and I'm trying to upgrade. I'm trying to make some serious money. I went and got my, I can't remember what it's called, certain kind of like certificate to work on the oil rigs. The goal was to work on the actual, like, you know, be a rigger, like work on these oil rigs. But the only job I could get was a dishwasher out there. So, and it was fucking crazy. I would like get on this, would it be a bus? Wow, my memory's so shot. It was either a small plane or a bus. But I would head out, and dude, I would be so fucking northern Canada. Like I was in like the Yukon and the Northwest Territories. Go look on a map what that looks like. It's fucking deep north. And it would be 21 days on, like straight, and then you would go home for like a week, and then you'd come back and do 21 days. And I don't even, I feel like it was more than 12 hours a day. I feel like it was like 14 or 15 hour days. All I remember is like feeling like a robot. Like I would sit and just clean dishes straight for like 12 or 14 hours. And then I would walk these, like, there was so much snow out there. It was like 15-foot walls that have been like cut as like little like hallways to get back to your like bunkie. And I would just work 14-hour days and then walk down this like blizzard snow hallway to this little fucking bunkie that was literally just like, my room would just be like a steel bed and like a sink, like, and then we had a shared bathroom like shower thing with all the other workers. And I would just lay down and like blink and wake back up and be like, oh, it's morning, and then go back and work. And I would just do that for 21 days straight. But it was like the first time I made like some serious money. Like I think you would walk away with like $5,000 or something when you go to these 21 days. It was heavy. I remember like there's not a female in sight. It's like a bunch of roughnecks, like just like a lot of like natives, like Native Americans out there, like some scary fucking, like you could tell these guys are all like on coke and they're making a lot of money, but they're like, you know, they don't have families or they don't see their families. They're just like there's some rough people, and I used to like wash dishes. I was like this little fucking guy in there, and they would like throw their dishes. They were like these plastic dishes. Like when they were done eating, they would throw them at the sink and throw them at me. Like it was an intimidating place, but I never did make it on the actual rigs. I just did the dishwashing shit until, yeah, shit kind of hit the fan. I came back to that apartment after a 21-day trip, and long story, I got cheated on by my girlfriend, and fucking I went back home. Okay, this is, I can't remember how I got here, but I'm now in British Columbia, and I remember I was trying to get, I got a job as a commercial, is it commercial? Yeah, commercial construction in BC. So I was building like, not just homes, it was like, you know, like 6-story commercial buildings. And I only did it for a few weeks. I was trying to get money to get like a shitty $1,000 car to be able to drive from BC back home. And I remember it being a pretty tough fucking job. Just like, it's just standard construction, but I've never been good with heights. And I used to have to carry these like big timber, like 12-foot boards, like one in each hand. And I'd have to like carry them up the floors and walk across these beams and shit. I just remember it being like hard work, but also like always being kind of scared that I'm gonna die or something. Like it felt kind of hectic. Okay, I'm back home. This is in Hamilton. One of the funnest jobs I ever had, pizza delivery for a business called Pizza Pizza. It's a franchise in Canada. Really sick job because you're in your own car. Like you listen to your own music. You're in your own whip. I don't got to wear no uniform. And I had this little Honda Civic coupe at the time. And I would just fucking listen to music and like just drift and whip and like drive out to these people's homes and shit. And yeah, it was like, honestly, if you're young and you want like a fun job where like you make pretty good money on tips and shit, dude, do pizza delivery for a summer. It's a fun gig. All right, next job. A place called Red Rockets. I know it's the name of a dog dick, but they do make, still to this day, the best chicken wings I've ever ate in my life. And they were like hand breaded, like fucking, dude, they were so fucking good. And at the time I think I didn't have a car, but I had an electric scooter, and Hamilton has like a lower part and then there's like up the mountain. And I had to take this scooter on a highway up the mountain to get to this job. And I remember one time my scooter died halfway up this mountain, because it just didn't have enough juice. I'd be like, meh, fucking trying to rip up this fucking highway. And so I had to ditch the scooter and like hide it in the bush and then like walk the rest. And then I was late to work. God, it's funny to look back at that. Okay, next job. Again, I was a line chef. I was a line cook at a Irish bar. I can't remember the name of it. It was right there. Anyways, it was like this Irish bar that was right by my house. And I'm pretty sure it was kind of sketchy. I think they got raided at one point or something. Like they were doing some kind of like, I don't know if it was drugs or it was like booking, like a bookie type thing. Maybe it's good I don't say the name of the business, but yeah, I was a line chef. Really fun job. Kind of gained some weight working there because I would just eat so much free food, like chicken wings whenever I wanted them, or I would make layered nachos and shit. Yeah, it was fun. I remember one time the owner would, not even one time, it happened a few times, but he would get too drunk at his business, so I would have to drive him home as part of my job. Yeah, it was like, he always felt like The Sopranos to me. It was like a mob boss kind of thing. I definitely drank a lot. That's the only thing about any of these jobs where I started getting into like working at bars. It definitely created an environment where I was drinking a lot at a young age. Okay, next one, bartender. Bartender is such a funny one because it's so hard to get your first bartending job because they always want you to have experience. But how do you get experience if you never get a job? So I actually had a homie that I used to skate with that worked at this. It was like a fancy place in Burlington on the water. That did like, it was like a wedding hall, but also just like a fancy restaurant bar. And he got me in to be a bartender. And I remember my first day, I like never made a mixed drink in my life. I had no experience. I think I lied on my resume or some shit, but I just got thrown into like a 200 person wedding party. And they were just, and I, dude, I'm in like a button up, like it's like prestige, like nice. And then people would just be like, yeah, give me a screwdriver, give me a fucking whatever. And like sometimes the names like kind of self-explain how to make the drink, but sometimes they would hit you with like a tequila sunrise or some shit. And I'd be like, okay. And like, I literally would sometimes look at the other bartenders to like help me, but like it was so fast paced that I remember just like throwing ice and doing this and throwing a little orange juice and trying to just figure it out. And like at the end of the day, cause like, I think like I never dealt with cash. It was just tips. I think cause how it works is like, it's like open bar when I worked there. So like no one's paying for these drinks. So if I'm fucking them up, like no one even cares. Like they're just like, dude, as long as you give me something with alcohol and it tastes good, like I'm happy. Here's $5 tip. And dude, it was such a fun job. I definitely drank a lot because you would work these like wedding parties and stuff till like 3 a.m. and like to make good tips, you like everyone wants to have a drink with the bartender. So you would like, you know, there'd be these like drunk old white ladies like, woo, like have a shot with us. And we'd fucking, it was like so much fun. I fucking love bartending. And the cool thing is once you get that on your resume, especially if you're young, you're in your 20s, like if you can lock in a bartending job, I think it's really sick because you can now take that and travel anywhere in the world and like pretty much get a job anywhere if as long as you have the experience. So yeah, really fucking recommend bartending. And that's it. Those are all my jobs. I think that was 25. I'm sure I'm fucking missing some, to be honest. My memory is pretty fucking shot. But yeah, if you guys are walking away with any kind of fucking thought or any kind of message from this, is say yes. Go fucking try things. Like, especially if you're young, dude, whatever job you get or you like apply to, or you're like, I don't know if I really want to do this, like you're not stuck at anything. You know what I mean? Just go do it. And if you're ever not happy at a certain point, go try another job. Like, dude, I would send resumes out to thousands of places even when I was happy at a job that was working. I just like was always like maybe there'll be a new experience. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Go fucking say yes. Go work a million jobs. Go backpack. That was a long video, guys. Also, this is cool. I found this in storage. I forgot we made these. I'm bringing these home. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe if you've been liking these videos and you're not subscribed. But I'm bringing this home. I found these in my storage. I got a custom full send PS5 with controllers and a custom full send Xbox with controllers, and then even a Sunday Xbox and PS5. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. I'm definitely going to set up one of the like PS5s and Xboxes at my house. And then the other one I have, maybe I'll even do a giveaway on this channel or something like that. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Loving the support. We hit 10K. Just the start, boys. We're fucking... I don't care if this grows and how fast it grows. All I care is that people are like, you know, enjoying it, and that this could kind of become like a home for some people, you know, something they can like depend on and be like, escape their problems and their shit for an hour, you know, a couple times a week. So that's it. Later, boys.